Despite millions of views garnered in the songs on YouTube, the identity of Yorushika is still unknown to many, making them the type of artists you will be familiar with their tracks, but not who they are. The two members of this duo, who has never publicly revealed their faces, have a vast following worldwide, yet they only held 2 concerts since the day they were formed until now. This is the story of Yorushika. Yorushika is a Japanese rock duo founded in 2017. The pair is made up of a former Vocaloid music producer who goes by the name of N-Buna, a producer who may surprise a lot of Yorushika fans who are also fans of the Vocaloid genre. The low-profile manner of how N-Buna handles his work's presentation makes no one questions much about the artist. Instead, only leaving fans to focus on his music. The other half of the duo is Suis, an exceptional female vocalist. Her unique voice and singing style makes her be able to carry songs of different energy. Suis is capable of physically moving you with songs like Haru Hisagi, puts you at ease with songs like The Clouds and The Ghost, while at the same time pushing your tears out with songs like Nautilus. You can describe Yorushika's music as a beautiful work of art, passionate, simple and methodical, serving as a blanket to the more solemn lyrics of love and human emotion to rest in. These are compositions coming from the work of N-Buna, who mainly writes for Yorushika. But it would take N-Buna years to get to this stage of his craft, and it might not have happened had he not reached his first success in 2013, 4 years from where Yorushika started. N-Buna was born in Gifu Prefecture in Japan. He started his songwriting journey with an electric guitar he bought at the early age of his teenage life. The influence of guitar will lead to the many guitar songs we hear in Yorushika today. While it's not proven, some on the internet has mentioned that N-Buna spends a part of his early life living in Sweden. If that were found to be accurate, we would then understand why part of Elma and Amy's story is set in that country. At the time of this video, N-Buna is 25 years old. But it was about 8 years ago that N-Buna first started uploading Vocaloid music on Nico Nico, Japan's largest video sharing service provided by Dwango. N-Buna released his debut single of Arisu Torasuto, sung by Hatsune Miku, on the February 2nd of 2012. As you listen to a track composed by a 16 or 17-year-old N-Buna, you could tell that there are elements of European folk influences ingrained in his composition. As a Vocaloid producer, N-Buna would primarily use Miku Dark, and Gummy as his preferred Vocaloid software. Each producer makes their own sound, which leads to the different tuning of the Vocaloid voice profiles. He grew to learn how to tune the voice along with the other tracks he released after Arisu Torasuto. Eerily, you could hear that N-Buna's tuning of the Vocaloid software somehow sounds similar to Suis' voice when listening back to it. One such song that you could hear is the first verse of Tome Elegy. Tome Elegy is a piece from N-Buna's early success as a Vocaloid producer on Nico Nico. This Vocaloid tuning on the song is close to an actual human voice compared to other producers I've ever heard. This could be attributed to N-Buna's perspective of treating Vocaloid softwares as significant as a human voice, a critical perspective that will further develop this story down the road. When listening to the sounds like Tome Elegy, you could feel Suis' voice was the perfect sound that N-Buna could ever want. Tome Elegy, released in 2013, reached first on the platform's daily Vocaloid ranking. It's an important moment in N-Buna's career as it serves as a necessary step moving forward as a producer. With Tome Elegy's success, N-Buna knew that his newer songs would need to be more warranted. There was no going back for N-Buna as a Vocaloid producer. As an active member of the community gaining a massive following, N-Buna had to learn and grow. This early success made the producer study more about composition, mixing, arrangement, and other skills necessary in producing a better hit moving forward. At the end of his active Vocaloid chapter, N-Buna would have had songs like Umiyuri Kaitetan, gaining over 1 million views at that time, similar to Tome Elegi, and 2 albums, Hanato Mizuame, Saishu Densha, Walking on the Moon, produced through U&R Records in the year 2015 and 2016. N-Buna's music generally incorporates energetic synthesizer, alongside a heavy rock guitar influenced riff and unique tuning, which creates a shaky and emotional sounding voice. But upon close inspection, you could tell the sound and arrangement of N-Buna's music was changing at the last leg of his Vocaloid chapter. When listening to his 2016 album, Suki wo Aruite Iru, you could tell N-Buna is slowly moving into a different direction than his 2015 album work. Suki wo Aruite Iru were more stripped down and at ease. Melody structures are beginning to reveal itself as something closer to what Yorushika will be. But nobody knew it at the time. N-Buna is about to leave his days as an active Vocaloid producer to move to a bigger stage. A stage where he needs an exceptional singer, one who would pull off emotional songs and tell the story that Yorushika is about to present. According to an interview with Natari, a Japanese entertainment news website, N-Buna and Suis were brought together through a mutual acquaintance. At the time, Suis were already familiar with N-Buna's Vocaloid work, being a longtime fan of the producer herself. The baby step of Yorushika coming together were already in place. But it was further progressed, with Suis appearing as a guest vocalist during N-Buna's 2 solo concerts in Tokyo. At this point, the change in N-Buna's direction is becoming more apparent. He was already on the lookout for a singer to form a new project. His criteria was simple: to find a more human voice to use in his music, as opposed to Vocaloid software he had been using for 5 years. When it comes to Suis, there is close to zero information about who she is and what was her previous work. Something as simple as a brief description of her background cannot be found. There's no knowledge to how she got her start in singing. Suis and N-Buna had a mutual stand on this. The duo's fundamental idea of not revealing their identity is not to let listeners have any misconception about their work. It's undeniable that they achieved that. The only way for fans of Yorushika to get to know Suis is through her vocal performance in their music. Take a listen to songs like Say It and Hitchcock, and how Sui's voice matched perfectly to the music video's character. Then turn on Haru Hisagi and listen to how Suis can sing in such a mature tone that it could almost be perceived as an altogether different singer. The tonal changes that Suis has are how Yorushika can pull off songs of a different mood. But Suis will not only need to fill in the role of a singer, she will also be N-Buna's partner in writing Yorushika's fiction. In 2017, the duo released their first album, Natsukusa ga Jama wo Suru, which features hits like Say It, Fireworks Beneath My Shoes, and The Clouds and the Gulls. The lyric to The Clouds and the Gulls, or Kumoto Yure in Japanese, is where the name Yorushika came from. Specifically, Yorushika mo nemurezuni, meaning I can only sleep at night. The iDesign logo seen at the end of Yorushika's music videos is a motif of 2 moons facing each other. It serves as a clock hand, portraying the time from 6 to night. Yorushika's fame and popularity is starting to skyrocket and had attracted a lot of attention as a relatively new and young group. The duo held first of their 2 concerts in their career so far in July 2017. In 2018, Yorushika released the album Make Inu ni Anko wa Iranai, which features hits like Hitchcock and Just a Sunny Day for You. Works of Yorushika is being introduced and taken notice by fans as many begin to appreciate the full depth of Yorushika's art. The music videos and lyrics of songs are filled with connections if you paid attention closely, and fans could not help but form theories. The first two albums of Yorushika definitely gave fans a taste of what Yorushika offers. But a bigger story from Yorushika in the form of Amy and Elma is about to unfold. 2019 will be the year we see Yorushika release two albums, だから僕は音楽をやめた on April 10, 2019, and Elma on August 28, 2019. These two collectively have given us singles That's Why I Gave Up on Music, Deep Indigo, Parade, Rain with Cappucino, Hole in the Heart, and Nautilus. The two albums combined complete the story told so far revolving Amy, a struggling musician who had a health condition. He became an inspiration to Elma, who then becomes a musician. Every listener who is aware of the story's premise could form up a version of the story sequence in their own head through the songs. But suppose you really want to appreciate the depth of the fiction written by N-Buna and Suis, and how those stories are masterfully written into a song, you need to read The Elma Diary, translated by Dayleaf Shadows. It's a beautifully written diary that weaves together the character's journey and every lyric in Elma. While there are many versions of this story interpreted by listeners, we could all agree that it has a definitive conclusion in Nautilus. The music video's weight is so heavy that by the time one is done, you will have a godly appreciation of the art made by Yorushika. By 2020, Yorushika would have racked up millions of YouTube views, released multiple singles from its extended plays and full albums, all of which charted on both the Oricon Albums Chart and the Billboard Japan Hot 100 Albums Chart. MTV Europe Music Awards even nominated them as Best Japanese Act in the same year. Their popularity with younger audiences is undeniable, with the song's theme of love and emotions being caught on by the Japanese youth. Many of Yorushika's lyrics are easily relatable, almost to every one of us, as it portrays happiness, sadness, love, and longingness. As their popularity grew on the internet, so are the eyes and expectation of fans. N-Buna's effort to keep himself out of the limelight is becoming difficult when you have tremendous success and fame. You could tell how he needs to create his own piece of artwork that is purely from the artist's point of view. But having an existing audience with expectation and pressures as a choice of living disrupts the artistic integrity. This thought is well expressed in Yorushika's song Haru Hisagi, a track in their 2020 album, Plagiarism, with N-Buna explaining how creators have to lessen their work so that everybody could understand and to get fame. As an artist who doesn't want to be influenced by the audience perspective, this may lead to why N-Buna removed himself from Twitter. He has publicly said that he often blends his own experience and thoughts onto a character like Amy. In an interview with Natari, N-Buna said, "I was thinking of projecting myself to a level that has a strong sense of reality and making a work that is as original as possible." One could see N-Buna's self-reflection onto songs like That's Why I Gave Up on Music, or even the likes of Thoughtcrime. The conflict of N-Buna's points of view on music, popularity, and fame will continue to exist as Yorushika's popularity continues to soar. The duo has reached new heights as they landed themselves the ending theme of big title anime movie A Whisker Away, and even taking on the project of remixing the insanely popular theme of Tokyo Ghoul, Unravel. Fans can only wonder what will go on in N-Buna's mind in dealing with the audience's expectation with such an established song like that. It is a dangerous territory to go into as it means presenting a work that many already love. Still, I'm sure fans of Yorushika will have faith in the brilliantness of both N-Buna the producer and Suis the singer of Yorushika. The first time N-Buna made music with Suis was more of a business relationship than a friendly one, as told by the producer himself. But now, he admitted that he can't imagine writing songs without having her sing it. Having listened to so many of Yorushika's music with Suis in it, it is difficult to imagine someone else's voice in Yorushika's music. For now, we can look forward to Yorushika's latest work in 2021 and further continue the story of Yorushika. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this documentary of Yorushika. I intend to work more on documentary like this, so please support this channel and as well as go to patreon.com/ABAJapan to help me out a little bit. Let's build more on the knowledge of Yorushika by commenting down below and let me know which other artists you want me to work a documentary on. I became a fan of Yorushika through this channel, so if you want to know how I got my start with Yorushika, check out my Yorushika reaction playlist in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again when we document another Japanese artist.